the rhythm of emotional ascent and the stillness of the soul. Amid a space filled with light where bonsai creations reveal their forms and structures, you may think you are simply admiring beauty, but perhaps you are stepping into a deeper journey, a place where emotions rise to their peak, then quietly fall into stillness. And within that stillness, one begins to face oneself. The ascent. In the exhibition night, there is not only darkness, but something quietly extraordinary. The light does not merely illuminate, it awakens. It awakens the subtle rhythm within every branch and trunk, upon every rugged layer of bark, and the silent pride of life itself. Each bonsai in this moment no longer stands still. It exists, with all the inner strength accumulated through time. You are witnessing a beauty, not created in a single day, but shaped by time, by patience, and by hands that never rush. Art is not only to be seen, it is to elevate. As the eyes of the viewer move across flowing roots, the deliberate motion of each trunk and branches arranged as if by chance, we no longer simply look, we begin to feel. We feel time. We feel the meeting point between human intention and the vitality of nature. And then, emotion rises, a quiet exhilaration, difficult to name, when beauty reaches a threshold, just enough to make us pause in silence. These creations are not silent. They are telling a story of decades where every cut, every bend was a decision that could hardly be undone. But then, as the eyes grow familiar with beauty and emotions begin to settle, another question emerges. What lies beyond the light? Stillness. Beyond the brilliance of light lies a profound darkness. In the world of bonsai, emptiness is as important as form. As the light fades, the tree no longer displays its shape, it begins to reveal its spirit. This is the moment we return to stillness. In the night, unnecessary details slowly disappear, leaving only the purest essence. Stillness is not emptiness. It is a deep inner strength. It allows the mind to settle, to step away from the noise outside. To observe a tree at night is to enter a quiet dialogue with oneself, to listen, and to touch a very real sense of peace within each slow, gentle breath. Bonsai and meditation. And then, when emotions no longer rise and no longer fall, we arrive at another state. No longer ascent, no longer only stillness, but harmony. A place where emotions do not oppose one another, but coexist within a very slow rhythm. And here, when the ascent of art meets the stillness of the soul, we touch a very subtle threshold. A place where bonsai is no longer a physical object, but an idea. We no longer observe the tree. We begin to see ourselves. No longer driven by the need to possess, but learning to let go, to release pressures, expectations, the burdens of everyday life, and to merge into a greater flow. Within the sacred space of the exhibition at Tran Temple, Dinh, bonsai becomes a bridge, guiding us back to freedom and inner ease. The night grows deeper, yet within this stillness, everything is quietly awakening. Anchor. Ladies and gentlemen, the journey does not end in stillness. For in the end, we must all return to reality. No longer drifting, no longer at the peak of emotion, but standing in something familiar, something human. Like the moment we stand before a masterpiece and suddenly think of the trees in our own garden. A tree still unfinished, forms not yet complete, and yet within it, a quiet hope begins to rise. That one day, from our own hands, a creation will emerge worthy of standing beneath exhibition lights. And perhaps someone will stand there in silence and experience the very emotions we have just lived through. When I left that space, I carried no artwork with me, and yet something remained. Perhaps a feeling, perhaps a thought, or simply a quiet stillness. And in some ordinary moment, when I stand before my own tree and reflect, those subtle emotions return once again. Gently, but enough to remind me that the journey with bonsai never truly ends. It does not stop at light or darkness, but continues in the untold stories still waiting somewhere ahead. And if you are drawn to this journey, in the next video, we will explore together what truly forms the soul of a bonsai creation. Thank you for sharing this quiet moment with me, and I will see you again in the next journey.